When I need someone to quiet my fears, to the whispers inside me, all disappear.
Now, I understand that 100 Hours as a band sort of started by accident.
Yeah.
Just give us a
So
bit
the
of
story
history
goes.
So the story goes.
I mean, it's true. I mean, the reality is that, you know, I mean, I'm a Bible teacher. I have a degree in literature. I didn't really mean to be in a band, to be honest with you. So I was actually playing for another band, and an opportunity came up. There were two conferences going at the same time, and they needed someone to lead worship for the youth conference. And so I really threw together at the last minute some guys to play with me, and my wife Tori, who is, you know, actually a proper musician, really. And so we did that. You know, we set up, and it was really super last minute. In fact, my longtime drummer Paul Baker, I literally met him at soundcheck. So we soundchecked for like 20 minutes and played. And it was just one of those quite electrifying nights, you know. And the guys who were there, who were speaking at the conference, were from America, from California. And we walked off stage, and they said, "Listen, where can we get the record? And can you come on tour, in America?" And we were like, you know, we just met each other, sort of thing. So I think that, you know, we kind of felt like then that something was happening, you know.
Awesome.
So that's really how it started. Yeah, it's just been, you know, and I think for us, it's never really been about being in a band, or even, to be honest with you, it's never fundamentally been about the music or any of that stuff. For us, it's always been about something we want to see in terms of cultural change and people actually seeing the kingdom of God expressed in society. And the band is our tool for that. Okay. Now, that's not to say that the music and that stuff isn't important. It's really important to us. But for us, we see it as a tool. And that's why the hours exist, you know.
Fantastic. So I take it that you went on that tour?
We did. I mean, I think that we didn't really take it that seriously, to be honest with you, because we were kind of like, they were like, "Where can we get this record?" And I was like, "Man, if you want all these songs, let me tell you, we're gonna get." There's a band called Delirious. And they just started being called Delirious as well. They're like, "Delirious? What kind of band is that?" And I was like,
"So when was that? Which year was that all happening?"
Oh man, this would have been like in 1997.
Okay, yeah, they were just releasing King of Fools.
Yeah, absolutely, very early days, really. And before the Delirious phenomenon leaped the sea.
Yeah, totally.
Leapt the sea, I guess you should say.
Yeah.
But again, you know, for us it was you know, I think that we just sort of, you know, we were called Chump for months, just as a joke, and we just called ourselves Chump because it was a joke. We weren't taking it very seriously, and it just kept snowballing bigger and bigger. And you know, when you're getting introduced, they'd be like, "Here they are to lead us into the presence of the Lord, Chump." And it was so anticlimactic. I was like, "Listen, we got to change the name," and that's when we changed the name to 100 Hours. And I think from there, we really started going, "What are we trying to achieve?" And things went from there. Okay. You know.
So that's pretty quick from like meeting each other and playing together to actually let's take this seriously and
yeah, I think it was sort of the, you know, I mean, you know, 97 we played that one gig, and then I think we played at a party we set up. You know? Yeah. A friend of mine and I set up this thing. We called Keith and Trey's Magic Christmas, which is just a crazy party we set up, and we played. And the funny thing is that, I mean, it was a very well attended party. Yeah. Right? We couldn't believe it. It got totally out of hand. But the funny thing is just that these, it just was one of those gigs where there were a lot of influential people there, and they were kind of like, "Hey, can we book you guys?" And we were kind of like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. We're called Chump." And it just kept snowballing, you know. So by, you know, and then we went on tour in America that following summer in 1998, and it's kind of, so that was 10 years ago. Good grief. Oh man, I can't believe it's been that long. You know?
Dude.
The grandparents, really. So yeah.
Hardly.
Thank goodness the Delirious Boys have been out there longer than us. It makes you feel. They started in like 1947.
1947.
The early 70s was when it really clicked. I'm only joking.
Hey, they were 94 was when they really started going. So
yeah.
You know,
I cannot say enough good things about Martin and the guys. They are who they say they are. They mean what they say, and we have an immense amount of respect for them. And I think, you know, with us, with the stuff we've been doing in the mainstream and stuff as well, you know, Martin and those guys they blazed a trail for all of us to learn from, and I have nothing but respect for them. Yeah, they're wonderful guys, and we really love them. So, yeah.
I've met some of them, and I totally
class, man. They're class.
No, they're awesome. But I think what you're saying about integrity.
Yeah. They mean what they say. They say what they mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The integrity. I think, especially being part of a music industry in the UK, which is a tough environment.
Yeah.
You know, and they, you know, as a band, you know, had to make some decisions along the way to release records, to become their own label, to produce slightly more secular rather than worship tunes for church.
And just to keep writing better songs. I think the thing that's been the biggest challenge to me is that, you know, as a band, you know, you want to keep writing better and better and better songs. And I think that, you know, I've watched Martin and Stu as a songwriting team over the years, and the whole band as well. And they just really kept taking the songs up a notch and never losing who they are. Yeah. And that's been a real inspiration to me. You know, I felt like that, you know, we want to keep writing better and better songs, but we never want to become something that we're not. And that's one of the things I really appreciate those guys.
That's brilliant. I think you're too old to really have them as your list of influences, I have to say.
Oh, well. Maybe so, that's probably true.
Come on, they're my influence, they shouldn't be yours. So,